Hello class, hope you all are doing well. Today I'm going to explain my infographic presentation and my topic is electric cars. Starting with the history of electric cars. So the first person who experimented the things on electricity and built a electric wagon was Robert Anderson. He was a British inventor and he uh, basically invented the principles behind the electric cars, and he described the things how the electric vehicle runs. Then comes the laws and principles which are used in an electric car. So it has a very basic principle in which electrical energy, or we can say electromechanical energy, is converted into electricity, and that electricity is then converted into kinetic energy. So basically kinetic energy is the energy which is responsible for any motion in any subject or object. So electric cars are generally driven by the base of electrical or electromechanical energy. Then moving ahead towards the components of electrical vehicle and their specifications. So the first component of electric vehicle is batteries itself. So batteries usually are used in electric vehicle to give the power to the cars, which is very necessary for initial movement of the car. Then comes the motor controller. The motor controller is said to be the heart of electric vehicles. They drive the power from batteries, and they give the necessary power, convert them into different forms of energy, and then transfer to different components of the electric vehicle. Then comes electric engine. So basically electric engine is the thing which converts the electrical energy from controller into the kinetic energy and transfer it to the next system, which I'll be presenting next. And that is the conversion process which is done by electrical engine. Basically electrical engine drives two types of current, AC current and DC current. The difference between those is very simple. Those engines which drive the alternative current, or we can say AC current, are lighter as compared to those who drive the DC current. Now if I talk about the next component, it is regenerative braking. So it is the system which converts the kinetic energy of electrical components into the chemical energy of the batteries, and this energy is responsible to provide a necessary braking effort for the vehicle to stop. And the last system over here is driving system, which involves different transmission mechanisms, shaft we can say, then we can say gears, which converts the motion of the engine into the kinetic energy and are responsible for the vehicle to proceed or give a motion, are termed as driving systems. Then if we proceed further, then I will be explaining how the electric cars work, or we can say working of the electric cars. So basically it has a simple motion. It has three components: the motor, the controller, and the batteries. So motor generally drives by means of controller. It takes the power from controller, and the controller takes its power from batteries. So this is the sequence which is followed in the we can say structure of electric car. Now as we push the accelerator pedal, we can control the speed or the force on the motor, and based on the speed of the motor, the power is sucked from the controller system, and respectively, the same procedure is done on the batteries. So this is the overall basic working of the electric cars: uh, motor, controller, and the batteries. Now this was the overall structure of history. How basic was the information about the electric cars. Now if I move further towards the types of electric cars, then basically there are three types of electric cars. The first one is HEV, hybrid electric cars, or hybrid electric vehicles. Then comes PHEV or FAV, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, and the last one is all electric vehicles, or we can say battery electric vehicles. Now if I explain about the first one, starting with the first one, hybrid electric vehicles. So in that, it is a combination of electric energy and the combustion of the IC engine, internal combustion engine. So it is the hybrid phenomena which is responsible for the vehicle to move. So in this, the power to IC engine or the motor is given by means of the battery, and the IC engine converts the necessary electrical or combustion energy into motion, and both combinedly are responsible for electric cars to run. Moving towards next, it is plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. In these vehicles, the electrical energy is given to the battery for controlling the motion of the electric motor, and gasoline is used as the motion of or the mode of power for the IC engine. So there are two different working principles. Electricity is given to the controller for the motion of electrical components, and gasoline or the combustion fuels are used for the working of we can say the IC engines, and these two together are combinedly used for an electrical vehicle to run. Now the third type is the battery electric vehicle, and in this type of cars there is only batteries, sequence of batteries which are responsible for producing necessary electromechanical energy, and that energy is converted into kinetic energy, and this is how the phenomenon works for an all battery vehicle or battery operated vehicles. Proceeding further comes the advantages of electric cars. So the advantages are very basic. Everybody almost have a sense that electric cars are advantageous, but they are not aware enough that these all are the advantages of electric vehicles, and we should adapt electric vehicles more rather than using the conventional IC engines, which are responsible for more detrimental effects to the world now. Okay, so starting with the advantages. So first advantage of electric cars is that it is cost efficient. We do not have to spend more on the electric vehicles, as we do not have to pay for fuels, we do not have to pay for oil changes, we do not have to pay for any damage works, because as like IC engine vehicles are heavy, and there are lots and lots of minute components which needs regular maintenance. So those needs necessary expenditure. So that can be eliminated in electric vehicles because there are less number of components. Second advantage is pollution control, as it is the eco-friendly alternative of using electricity rather than fuels that emit carbon dioxide and resulting in deprivation of the environment. So eventually, by use of electric cars, we can reduce or we can contribute in reducing the rate of pollution. Then comes the less maintenance cost. As I mentioned earlier, it has very low number of components, so it is helpful for us, and it is beneficial that we do not have to spend more on their maintenance. Then comes react quickly. It instantly drives the electricity and converts into mechanical energy, so that procedure is immediate, and we get quick response in electric cars as compared to its counterparts. Then comes conventional, or we can say convenient charging ports. We can charge it anywhere and everywhere. These were all the advantages. Now, if I talk about the disadvantages, then every aspect have two sides, advantages and disadvantages. So electric cars also have some negative points. The first one is that it takes a longer amount of time to charge, as we quickly put the fuel in the conventional IC engines. It is a quicker process and fast process. We just need to insert the nozzle, and it takes around 5 minutes to fill up the tank, and we are ready to drive. But it is not same in electric vehicles. We have to give a certain period of time to get it charged, to get the batteries charged. So that is one negative point. Second one is that the range up to which we drive is less as compared to the IC engines or gasoline engines, and upfront cost is high. So that was the disadvantages of electric cars. Now, if I explain about my research, primary research on this topic, then I used certain sources to gather the information how people think about electric cars. So when I conducted my research, I found that almost 50% of people think that electric vehicle can efficiently replace the gasoline engines, the conventional fuel operated vehicles. Then I also found some information on the future employment rates. So when I conducted survey, I found that 50% of the population, above 50% of the total candidates considers that Tesla Motors can increase the employment rates in the field of electrical vehicle technology. And the last but not the least, everybody or majority of them think that electric vehicles can contribute to reduce the pollution rates. So these were the graphs of my survey. Okay, so coming towards the conclusion, so I particularly think, as per my side, that electrical vehicles can smoothly adopt today's technology and are capable of replacing the conventional vehicles if proper we can say that proper scientific research is conducted on them, and proper guidance and proper support of the automotive sector is given to this sector of transportation. Then I think that electric vehicles can definitely change the technology on the roads. So this was the whole presentation from my side. Thank you so much for listening to me, and hope you all have enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.